I got the mic. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome to B'nai Israel. We're so excited. This is a big weekend for us. We're very excited about celebrating with Hannah Reps and her family who have traveled from far and wide because she will be called to the Torah tomorrow as a bat mitzvah. So we are all excited for her. And it's a beautiful, beautiful day. So we'd like to greet Shabbat with a song about a date palm. And you can find it, Sadi Katamar. It's about righteousness and how it's a lot like the date palm. And it is, you can find it on page 140 in your prayer book. And you'll find your prayer book under the seat in front of you. And I'm joined on the bima by Rachel Albert, who will be singing.
Taller than usual.
I gotta just get the first note. Please join us whenever. And if you don't know the words, you can always la-di-da or yai-di-dai. But we're looking forward to making a beautiful sound. Sadi Katamar. Keretz, bavonun yiske shetulim bebeit Adonai aharot Eloheinu yafrihu od yenuvun beseba deshenim verananim yiyu letagid ke'asor Adonai turi velo Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom, and again, welcome. We now turn to page 120 in our prayer books for Hadlakat HaNerot, kindling the lights of Shabbat, and we invite forward for this honor this evening Hannah's grandmothers, Diane Bree and Cantor Helene Reps. Page 120.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu madlin ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe.
Please join me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We continue to welcome Shabbat. We turn to page 138 for L'Chaim. We welcome Shabbat as a bride. We will be singing this evening of L'Chaim, the first and the second verses on page 138, and the ninth verse, which you'll find on page 139.
Likrat kala, panei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha doti, likrat kala, panei Shabbat nikabela. La la, lecha doti, likrat kala, panei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha doti, likrat kala, panei Shabbat nikabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishme'anu el ha'yachad, Adonai echad, Shemo echad. L'shem tiferet v'liti la la la, L'cha doti, likrat kala, panei Shabbat nikabela. L'cha doti, likrat kala, panei Shabbat nikabela. Likrat Shabbat li'chuven elcha, ki mikor habracha, merosh mikerem nesucha. Sof ma'aseh b'machshava tehi la la la, l'cha doti, likrat kala, panei Shabbat nikabela. L'cha doti, likrat kala, panei Shabbat nikabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha utzola, toch emunei hamsigula, boi chala, Lecha doti, likrat kala, panei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha doti, likrat kala, panei Shabbat nikabela. La la, lecha doti, likrat kala, panei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha doti, likrat kala, panei Shabbat nikabela.
Our service now continues, page 144. Hannah leads us in the Chatzi Kaddish.
Yikadal v'yikada shemei rabba.
Amen.
Yaman divrach yirtei v'yamich mahute.
B'chayechon u'chayediko beit Yisrael. Bagala, u'bizman karev.
V'meru.
Amen. Yehei shemei rabba mevorach, le'olam u'me'amaya, yitbarach.
Yitbara v'yishtaba v'yapar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei kudasha behu. Le'ilam min kol birasha v'shir avta.
Tushbechata v'nechemata, Damiram Be'alma.
Vimeru.
Amen.
Please rise.
Page 146.
I'll get them later. Thanks.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach leolam vaed.
We turn to page 148. Hannah is our reader.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alerts time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness away from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tsevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening.
Baruch atah Adonai amahari varavim.
Ahavat Olam, page 150.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amecha havta Torah u'mitzvot u'kimu mishpatim Otanu limadita Alkein Adonai Eloheinu b'shobenu V'homenu nasiat mekukecha V'nizmak divrei Toratecha U'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed Ki hem chayenu V'yorek yamenu Uvahem negei yoman v'layla Negei yoman v'layla V'avacha al tasir Mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael, Ohev amo Yisrael.
Page 152.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Vaed.
Please be seated.
We turn to page 154. We join together with Hannah in the Be'ahavta.
Ve'havta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzadecha hayom alevavecha
Vishinantam levanecha, Vidivartam paham, Vishivtecha vivetecha, Uvlektecha vaderech, Ushokbecha uvekumecha, Ukshatam leho taliotecha, Vihayulatotafot beinenecha, Uchtatam amisusokbetecha, Uvisharecha, Luman tiskeru, Vasitem ekomitzvotai, Vihitem kiroshim lelohechem, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotzeti echem me'eretz Mitzrayim, Lihiot lachem Elohim, Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Emet, we turn to page 157. Hannah is our reader.
Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we're taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
Michemocha will be found on page 158.
Ya bum bum bim bim bum, ya bum bum bim bum, ya bum bum bim bim bum, ya bum bum bim bum, ya da 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 da, ya bum bum bim bum, ya da 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 da, ya bum bum bim bum. Mi hamoka balim Adonai, mi hamoka nedar bakodesh, norati lo sefele, norati lo sefele, ya bum bum bim bim bum, ya bum bum bim bum, ya bum bum bim bim bum, ya bum bum bim bum, ya da 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 da, ya bum bum bim bum, ya da 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 da, ya bum bum bim bum. Mahakutecha rahuvanecha, bokeha yam livne Moshe, Zeli Zeli amnu ve'ameru, Adonai lo leolam vahe, ya bum bum bim bim bum, ya bum bum bim bum, ya bum bum bim bim bum, ya bum bum bim bum, ya da 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 da, ya bum bum bim bum, ya da 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 da, ya bum bum bim bum.
Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. We turn to page 160. Hannah is our reader towards the bottom of the page.
Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem.
And on page 162, Yismachu, our prayer for Shabbat, the second paragraph, Hebrew paragraph down on the page.
Yismehu v'malachutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, korei u'neshabbat. Yismehu v'malachutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, korei u'neshabbat. Mikal
Please rise.
Our service continues, page 164, with the tefillah. We'll be chanting the prayers on the right-hand pages, on the even-numbered pages, beginning page 164, continuing through page 170.
Adonai sefot haftivta ufia gita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanara Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim v'Koneh Hakol v'Zocher Chaserot ve'imahot Umevii gula livnei bneihem leman shemo be'ahava Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai Mechayeh hakol atarav lechoshia Mechalkel chayim bechesed Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim Somech noflim v'rofeh cholim Umatir asurim Umekayeh memunato Lishenei afar Michamocha bal gevurot Umidol melach Melech lemid umechayeh Umatzmiya Yeshua V'ne'emanata l'chayot ha'akol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh ha'olam
holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God.
Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
Please be seated.
We turn to page 173. Hannah is our reader.
May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may all this day fulfill its promise.
Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Vatishkot haaretz 40 shana. And the land was quiet 40 years, says the Bible in Judges 3. That is a full generation of peace. Amidst the roar of bullies and cries of pain, would that our world know such blessing. As Jews, we never lose sight of a vision of peace or its sounds. At each service, we pray for shalom, for peace in our land, as well as in ourselves, our families, communities, nation, people, and world. Different sections of our worship end with the hope of shalom, as does this segment as we sing Shalom Rab, page 178.
Shalom Rab Yisrael Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rab Yisrael Tasim Leolam. Ki ata melech hadon lekol hashalom. Ki ata melech hadon lekol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Tasim Leolam. B'tov b'necha levarech et amecha Yisrael. B'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
We pause for silent meditation.
Page 180.
Ose shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimroma, hu yaseh
Shalom Aleinu, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Oseh Shalom B'Romav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Oseh Shalom B'Romav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Oseh Shalom B'Romav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Ha'olam.
We now turn to page 364, page 364, for Seder Kriyat Torah. For those who are able, we ask you to rise. We invite forward Casey Brennan, who opens our ark. Page 366.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadlu Adonai iti, umerom emad Shemo yakda, lecha Adonai hagidula v'hagivura v'hatiferet v'hanetzach v'hahod, ki kol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz, ki kol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz, lecha Adonai hamalacha, v'yamid na'aseh lechol erod. Al shlosha devarim, shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omeh, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omeh, al ha'torah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut hasadim, al ha'torah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut hasadim. Hodivo Shalom Aleinu, Hodivo Shalom Aleinu, Hodivo Shalom Aleinu, Be'akulam. Hodivo Shalom Aleinu, Hodivo Shalom Aleinu, Hodivo Shalom Aleinu, Be'akulam. Salam Aleinu, Be'akulam. Salam, salam, salam Aleinu, Be'akulam. Salam, salam.
Ever so momentarily, I'll work this one over here for me. In Judaism, our most ancient, our oldest symbol is the menorah. Exactly right. And a few weeks back, I spoke about a beloved congregant passed away recently as a type of menorah. The menorah is what invariably we always go back to. And the menorah is precisely where we begin in this week's Torah portion. It's described in the book of Exodus. It's described again now in our Torah portion. It talks about lighting the lampstand, the menorah, literally what you see right underneath us. The menorah also continues on with our sense of eternal light. The portion, and I'll be starting there and reading that segment, also addresses the role of the Levites, and that part will also be read. Responsibilities concerning firstborn males, including Pidyon Haben, a ceremony of redemption for the firstborn. Pesach Sheni, a second opportunity for observing Passover for those who weren't able in ancient times to observe it during the first period where it fell. The riffraff complaining about a steady diet of manna. And finally, a case of racial injustice as Moses is insulted for having married a Cushite woman. This is remedied when Moses prays for healing of the accuser, her sister Miriam, as another accuser, Aaron, watches. Hannah will be presenting that segment of the narrative in the morning. Tonight I'm going to be reading from the opening, Numbers 8, page 1075, begins at verse 1. We invite forward for our Aliyah to the Torah for this evening, Dr. Tamara Reps Freeman, a.k.a. Aunt Tammy, for our Aliyah to the Torah. Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Vaed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam, Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'Nahatan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Amen. V'yidaber Adonai el Moshe, and Adonai God spoke to Moses, Lemor, saying, Daber el Aharon ve'amarta elav, speak to Aaron, that is to Aaron in the priesthood, and say to him, Ba'alotacha et hanerot el mul pnei hamenorah, ya'iru shivat hanerot ve'ya'as ken Aharon el mul pnei hamenorah, he'elah neroteha ka'asher tziva Adonai et Moshe. Saying that when you light the lights, you will, of the menorah, you will light it 7 lights, and Aaron did this in front of the menorah. He lit the menorah as God had commanded Moses. V'zeh ma'aseh ha'menorah, and this is how the menorah was fashioned. Miksha zahav ad yirecha ad pircha, miksha hi kamar'e asher Her Adonai et Moshe Kain Asa et HaMenorah, and that the menorah was made as God had instructed Moses. It was fashioned in such a way from the base to the petals of gold as God had instructed Moses. It was done. V'yidaber Adonai el Moshe lemor, and God said to Moses, saying, Kach et haleviim mitoch b'nei Yisrael v'tiharta otam, that you should take the Levites from among the children of Israel, and you shall purify them. V'chota aseh lachem l'taharam, and this is how you should go about purifying them. Hizeh aleichem mechatat, that you should sprinkle on them the waters of the sacrifice, the sin offering. Ve'aviru ta'ar al kol basaram, and a razor should pass over all of their flesh. V'chibsu bigdechem, and they should wash their clothes. V'hite harum, and then they shall be purified. V'lachu par ben bakar, and they should take a bull of the herd. Minchato, solet, belula, v'shamen, and a meal offering. Ufar shnei ben bakar tikach lachatat, and they should also take as a sin offering another bull of the herd. V'hikavte et haleviim, and they should bring forward the Levites, lifnei ohel moed, in front of the tent of meeting. V'ikachalta et kol adat b'nei Yisrael, and they should gather there the entirety of the congregation of Israel.
Yishkach.
Baruch to you.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Linda, we should bring her back for some more command performances. We invite forward David Bree, who is raising, Uncle David, who is raising our Torah, and Dr. Barry Freeman, who is dressing our Torah. And I ask that we rise as the Torah itself will be raised. V'zot HaTorah will be found on the bottom of page 370.
V'zot HaTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael, mo pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. La 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 la. La 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 la
Standing as the Torah is returned to the ark. It's time he will be found the bottom of page 374.
Shalom.
Please be seated. Each Shabbat, we pray on behalf of dear ones within and beyond our congregational family. We articulate the hope that they might know comfort and support. I invite you now to raise your hand, and after I silently acknowledge you, speak the names of those persons not on our prayer list for whom likewise we should pray this Shabbat. And Sarah Feynman. She might have thought of me as the culprit or the nudnik, the pest. But actually, I'm part of the storehouse of communal reflection. Since this is the 18th anniversary of Linda's Torah portion, which she shares with Hannah, and which includes the very first prayer for healing, as Moses implores and as Hannah will chant in the morning, El na rafa na la, please God, please heal her. I figured that it was most appropriate to hear the melody that Linda had composed, inspired by this bat mitzvah text, and presented so beautifully by Linda and Rachel. This request also has a context beyond what might be seen as B'nai Israel trivia or sentimentality. A few generations back, public prayers for the sick on Shabbat was not a standard part of Reform worship. I recall about 20 years ago, a renowned colleague, a very famous rabbi from a different era, grumpily avowing to me, telling me that no one had ever stayed on his refuah shlema, on his prayer list, more than a single week, they were either removed one way or the other. Nowadays, we're much more patient, whether here in Southbury or throughout our Reform movement. As Hannah will chant in the morning, Moses prayed for Miriam and she was healed. In our case, when we pray in the synagogue for those who are sick, and when we pray at home in our hearts that they might get better, we don't do so with the assurance that this will happen as quickly as it did in Miriam's case, but for all to remain connected, even amidst illness. For far from being either frivolous or wrong-headed, our prayers, our prayer for healing, champions hope amidst life's many challenges. To be presented by Hannah. In this week's Torah portion, Moses' actions underscore a critical message, but some additional background is helpful. His prayer for his sister Miriam, El na rafa na la, please God, please heal her, is delivered a scene after Moses himself was completely despondent. Moses had become so tired of the people's incessant demands that he complained to God. He said, "Can I carry them as a nursemaid carries an infant? It is too much for me. Kill me, I beg you, and let me see no more of my wretchedness." End quote. Slightly fast forward, and Moses is praying, El na rafa na la, please heal her. Moses was revived, as was his sister Miriam, by his consideration of her. Judaism's weekday prayers include the biblical allusion, heal us, Adonai, and we shall be healed, and thus grant us a refuah shlema. In our faith, there's no shame or stigma in being ill. Rather, we link ourselves to those in need of such petition. For at any moment, a person can find himself or herself having crossed over into just that circumstance. Our rabbis thus speak of the importance of engaging with people who are sick and visiting them and esteeming the work of physicians. The Talmud, Judaism's encyclopedia of law and lore, speaks of 4 classes of people who should offer thanksgiving. Those who have crossed the sea, those who have traversed the wilderness, one who has recovered from an illness, and a prisoner who has been set free. What all these categories of people have in common is that they have undergone an ordeal not necessarily of their own making. The Jewish response is therefore to endeavor to heal and comfort, to pray and to thank. Through new, lovely, and poignant melodies, contemporary Judaism now highlights this aspect of our worship, as well it should. For while 18th anniversaries should be recognized, Chai, life, is avowed in our voicing and ongoing support to those in need of God's blessing and our attention. Ken Yehi Ratzon, be this God's will. We now turn to page 586. For those who are able, we rise for the Aleinu. Stephen and Hillary, we invite you forward to open our ark. The Aleinu that we chant is the second paragraph down on the page.
Ateit gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kugay havratzot, velo samanu kemish bechot hadama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor alenu kekol hamonam, vanaknu korim, umishtahavim umodim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu.
Please be seated, page 591.
V'ne'emor v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yihei Adonai echad u'shemo
Page 598. We now call to mind our own beloved dead, and I ask that those in mourning or remembering the anniversary of the death of a loved one, and who have trekked to the sanctuary during Shiva or Shloshim or for Yartzeit, should you be able, please rise when their name is mentioned. During Shloshim, we remember Bert Albert, husband of Sylvia, father of Eric, Jonathan, and Debbie, father-in-law of Jan, Rachel, and David, grandfather of Lindsay, Jamie, Sammy, Sarah, Jake, Remy, Eli, and Ben. On this Shabbat, remember the Yartzites, the anniversaries of the deaths of George Feidelson, Lillian Mann Goldberg, Philip Goldberg, Ruth Goldman, Ida Jackowitz, Rose Johnson, Kitty Kaplan, Louis A. Leopold, Elizabeth Levine, Max Matzkin, Arthur Rothschild, Dora Kramer Shapiro, Isadora Shapiro, Arthur Silver, David Stein, Edward Steingart, and Bernice Weinstein. If there are additional names to mention for Kaddish this Shabbat, please feel free to rise and say their names now. A practice within our congregation is to further consider these people. If you're comfortable so doing, we now invite you to share with this minion a brief reflection or reference about a dear one on our Kaddish list. Each Shabbat, we also mention 6 names amongst the 6 million murdered in the Holocaust, the Shoah. And we now remember Bronik Teicher, Mateno Teicher, Tosca Grauman, Yassia Yoffe, Lubiakov Krasny, and Fainya Usach. In remembrance and solidarity, and on behalf of those for whom there is no one but us to say Kaddish, we now invite all present to rise if you are able. Our prayer, page 598. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, B'alma divrach Hirutei v'yamlik malchutei, V'chaye echon v'yom echon v'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Rabbah Mavarach le'olam alalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudashah b'richu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata damiran b'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael,
V'amru, Amen.
Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for blessing. And let us say, Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. Adon Olam is found on page 625.
Adon
Lam
Olam asher malach
B'terem kol yitzir nivra Li'ed nasa b'chetzo kol Azai melech Shemo nikra V'yacharei kichlot hakol Livado yimloch nora V'hu haya v'hu hoveh V'hu yiyeh b'tifada
V'hu echad ve'en sheni V'hamshilo v'havira V'li reshit v'li tachlit V'ho ha'hoz v'ha'misra V'hu eli v'chai go'ali V'tzur kavli v'etzara V'hu nisi u'manosli u'matnosi V'yom ekra V'ya'ado akid ruchi V'heti sham v'ya'ira V'him ruchi giviyati Adonai li v'lo ira.
Kim?
Sit down for a second if you have.
Thank you to Rabbi and Linda and Hannah for our service tonight. And welcome to all the guests of the Bree and Rex families. For those of you who don't know, I am Kim Rubel, and I'm a member of the Board of Trustees here at B'nai Israel. Do we have any good news? Birthdays, anniversaries? Steve? Awesome.
And my twin sister Jennifer could not be here tonight. Actually, that's not too good.
No.
This very moment as we speak, she's being installed as the president of her congregation, Temple Beth Abraham in Terry.
Mazel tov. Exactly, that's the best news of the night, right? So for announcements, upcoming, we have on Saturday, June 15th at 10 a.m., Hannah's Bat Mitzvah. On Tuesday, June 18th at 11 a.m., we have Rabbi's Adult Discussion Group. On Friday, June 21st at 7:30, Erev Shabbat services, our interactive Shabbat. And upcoming events, tonight's Oneg is sponsored by the Bree and Reps families in honor of Hannah becoming a Bat Mitzvah. Shabbat Shalom.
We joined together with Hannah for her first legal Kiddush drink, page 123. Baruch atah Adonai